Akilah, welcome to our first mid-year check-in.
I'm so excited.
So I know, man, this is like you. This is vintage here. I said this. She has been a core sister from the get-go,
Great.
and
Wow.
wow, and this topic so relative to you being here and our connection and our friendship. So excited to talk about that. You and I have been friends for over 20 years,
I
and
can't believe that. I feel
yes.
like I can't even talk about
Hello,
years.
hello, welcome. Yes, it's been over 20 years,
Wow.
and we're celebrating anniversaries and stuff, and we were like married in the same year, and so yeah, it's always like comes full circle. But I love that I'm having the first mid-year check-in with you, and we're talking about word of the year because you were the one. So first of all, you've been a core sister since 2016 when it launched.
Yep.
I don't know if you were at the launch meeting, but you've been in it. You were part of the plan, always hearing my heartbeat, just in it, everything like that. Super supportive. I think you might have been doing a work trip for the very first launch meeting, but was at the first retreat. So much history with the organization, and the community has spoken at so many of our retreats and events, and just given, spoken life, and shared so much of your story. Like, we share so much of our story to core sisters. It's like they know us inside and out, right?
Yep.
But the greatest thing about it all is, after a year after we launched, which was 2016, you had introduced me to Word of the Year, I think in 2015 or 16, and then we were able to roll it out to the core sisters, and every year since we rolled it out, we've been doing vision boards, Word of the Year, all of that kind of stuff, and
Yep.
you're the reason why. So first of all, thank you for sharing that with me and getting me started.
Absolutely. I have to thank my mentor though, because she's the one her name is Kim Howland. She's the one that
Okay.
really introduced the word of the year for me, and it changed my life. How it happened was we were having a one-on-one, and I don't know how we got on this topic, but I confessed to her that I'm just sick and tired of making these New Year's resolutions. And I'm breaking them. Like, it means nothing. It was meaningless. It was always lose weight, eat healthier, just it was the same old thing over and over. And she looked at me and she said, "Have you ever heard of justoneword.org?" And I was like,
Mm,
"No, I've never heard of that." And she didn't tell me exactly what it was. She's like, "Go look it up." And so
mm.
I had to do the research. And lo and behold, when I looked at it, I was like, this is amazing. This is choosing a mantra, a theme for the entire year. And then it just sets the tone of like everything rolls up into this one word. And
Right.
so I've been doing it this is my 10th year, by
Yay!
the way. My
Happy
10th year.
anniversary! Happy
Yes,
word anniversary. Well, you know
yes,
what? It simplifies it. It simplifies it too.
it
It made it
does.
really simple. So, man, so this is like a 10-year anniversary. And so tell us a little bit about that. Like, 10 years in, kind of what has it meant to you, and how have you learned over the years to keep it alive and relevant?
Ugh, listen, first of all, I do take a spiritual approach to it. So I pray, and ask God just around probably November. No,
Mm,
actually, there's no time frame, but typically by the end of the year prior, I'm asking him to just reveal what that word is. What is the focus? What is it? And I'll tell you, be ready, because if you're really going to be selecting a word and you're serious and you're committed to it, you are going to be able to live that word out all year, whatever the word may be. And I think back and I was reflecting with some of my words over the previous years. I had patience, I had focus, being intentional. I can pinpoint situations that had to teach me patience, and it wasn't fun. And so I just love the fact that living the word, well, choosing a word, you're able to live it. And
mm.
this year being, can I say what my word is for the year? Or is
That was gonna be my next
oh,
question. So
okay.
yes, say it.
Okay. So this year, and I wasn't even thinking this was the 10-year mark. I didn't even know. I was just like, all right, let me go through this again. I actually struggled with what my word would be for
I
this year. And
remember.
that has happened in years past, by the way. I'm just like, I don't know what my word is. Remember
Mm-hmm.
Asha reach out to you? It's
Mm-hmm.
January. It's
Right.
February. I don't have my word, but I've learned to just be patient and just wait and wait on
I
God.
love that.
And this year that was the case. And so finally it came to me, excuse me, and my word is
Mm.
elevate. and just how everything has just is coming full circle. It's my 10 year, and elevate means so many things to me on so many levels that, and it was confirmed. It was confirmed. This is my word this year,
Don't
and
you
it's a
love
very
that?
monumental year.
It's
Yeah,
good when
I just
it's confirmed when it's a great word, and it's scary when it's a word when you try to run away from it because you're like, I have no idea what this word's going to mean, but it keeps getting
right,
confirmed, and you're like, God is going to do something in my life
right.
in this capacity. But when it's a word like elevate, you're like, okay,
Right, right, right. Although, let me be real with your audience,
okay,
because the word came to me and I thought the same thing. I'm like, elevate, yes, I'm talking promotion. I'm talking like elevate in every sense of the word,
right,
elevate, right?
right,
I finally, and I always try to choose a scripture that supports that word. I like
right.
to choose a song that supports that word. Every single scripture that I would go back to, Ash, had to do with dying to self.
Ooh,
Every word, in order to go high, in order to elevate, it's going to cost you
mm-hmm.
something. And I wasn't thinking of that with that in that word. I wasn't thinking anything like that, but I felt like the Lord was really pinpointing me into this particular area in my life where I've had to reevaluate the
Mm,
way I live my life.
yes,
And in that sense of like humbleness, are you truly humble? Or do you have true humility? And you can have both. You can be a powerful leader, you can be a mover and shaker, and still be humble. And so
right.
I'm learning that, and so that it's crazy. And so as I'm learning that, I'm seeing doors open that are going to give me an opportunity, that have already given me an opportunity to elevate, but I had to lose myself in order to get there.
Ooh,
So
that's
it's a
powerful.
lot that goes into it. You're not just choosing a word for fun, like, hey, I got a theme. It's life changing. It's transformative.
I love that. And people don't realize how this word is going to translate into, like, I feel like that every word that I've had, it's
Hmm.
actually the meaning of it has shifted for me living it for a year.
Yeah.
So a word, it really does. It does shift. And you like think about that, like maybe God is going to elevate you in life. You are going to be elevated in life, but this may be the year that he's teaching you how to live in elevation.
Right.
The best people to be elevated are the most humble people. So maybe
Absolutely.
there's something he's doing. That's
It's
such a
been powerful.
powerful. I
It, it's been
love that.
it's been powerful, and only God. Like I couldn't have put that piece. I couldn't piece it together,
Right.
and I'm seeing it already. Like it's coming to light. It's a lot. I can't even share
You
everything
can't
on
even get
this
on
call,
into it.
but it's a lot though, and it's all good. So
Well, I hope that some of if there, I know there's some people from your community and friends of yours that I've definitely seen on here. But if there's any new people, we can follow you and like learn more about it. But we'll talk about all that
yeah,
later. So you talked about kind of like what your word of the year was, and so man, I don't know. You said that so you talked about the foundation coming to it, how the scriptures that were given, and kind of a little bit about your journey and what God has showed you through the Word with time and where we are in July, how has that word shaped you? And like we're doing a mid-year check-in, so we're checking in at this mid-year point. What has it already given you? I mean, I know you said you can't
it's
get into it, but is there any
yeah.
other, like, what nuggets do you have to share, and what do you feel like that you still want from it?
Right. I think that's a great question. And when I say I can't get into it, it's nothing like obviously like I can share. It's just I think it would take us hours and hours. But high level, I think, perspective. I've
Mm,
changed my perspective. It's given me, it's caused me to just pause and not
okay,
react so quickly,
okay,
because I'm searching myself first. So I have been presented with situations that I would have just been like, that's just attack
right,
mode, right? And I feel like with this word that has come a sense of humbleness,
mm,
that I'm just going to sit and listen. I'm going to be intentional in the way I respond. And the other thing that it has brought me, which is crazy to me, is this phrase, do things scared, is like a
okay,
whole nother level for me. And it comes with elevation. You have to think about it. Like when you are elevated, you're going to do things that you've never done before. You're going to have to conquer things you've never conquered before. And I've been presented with situations where I've had to, I'm just not sure. I'm like, wait a minute. I know I want to get here, and this is what it's taking to get there, but I'm scared. Like I
I
have some fear, I have some doubt, I have some and anything questioning my own abilities. And it has caused me to just push through and to just do it scared. And I can't tell you how liberating it has
wow.
been.
Mm,
This year, first 6 months has been so liberating because I'm willing to do things scared, and I'm
I
willing to
love
really
it.
self-reflect and really check myself, right?
Right.
And so it's all tied in somehow. Like it's intertwined to this word elevate. I don't know
Mm,
how, but it's there. And
yeah.
it's supporting a lot of my goals. And because I'm doing things scared, I'm now doing things I never thought I would do. Right. And that's kind of
Ah,
it has happened over the years. It's been a prog. And you've been on this journey with
right.
me, Asha.
Right.
Tiffany, if she's still on, she's been on this
Yeah.
journey. Andrea, I could list out
I think
Kendra, all these,
that
my
Andrea, I thought I
tribe,
saw Andrea on here, but
my whole
yes.
tribe, you
Coral's
all
on here.
you oh Coral, I didn't even know. Yeah,
Yes.
Coral, all of they have all been on this journey with me. And it started years ago when I did share, my desire to be like a public
Right.
speaker, for example.
Right.
And I had
Right.
to
I
do that
remember that.
scared. I had to do
Mm.
it scared. I knew something deep within me was there,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely had to push through my fears and insecurities.
Okay.
And I'm still doing it to this day. Still pushing through.
Wow. Love that. Thank you. First of all, thank you for your authenticity and your truth. And that's what I love. And you've always been one to share. Hello, welcome if you're joining. We're doing a mid-year check-in with Akilah, just talking to her about her word of the year, elevate, and what it means to her. But thank you so much for just being real and just, just telling your truth. And Coral said, and look at you now.
Oh, I love Coral is my listen. Coral and
I
I go way back,
I know, I
21
know.
years.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
love her.
So that's that's
Yeah,
that's really great. I love to hear all of that. And do it scared is true. I mean, like they call it a leap of faith for a reason. And
right.
someone like you and I and a lot of other people who have faith in God. But I mean, it really does take like just like my husband just went bungee jumping
Right.
recently.
I
I mean,
saw
not bungee
that.
jumping, skydiving,
Skydiving.
excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm thinking like that is probably one of the biggest leaps of faith that someone can take.
Right,
Like you literally look down and you see the ground and you're really depending on these parachutes. But
right.
when we're depending on these like that's kind of a metaphor for what you're talking about. Like you're
Hmm.
just jumping out into the unknown and
Yeah.
you're pulling a string and depending on what was given to you, whether it's your word or a word or from someone else, just or a message or a notion and
Hmm.
all of that stuff and just letting it just and then you float down and you're still safe and you're still and you've done something and you've conquered that
Right,
fear and it's on to the next thing, but it's
right.
like a stepping stone.
It is,
So
and I talked about it. You do feel liberated because there's so many benefits that come with it. Because first of
mm,
all, you're achieving things you never thought you would,
mm,
and it is that freeing. It just frees up the way you always do things. We always talk about the definition of insanity: doing the same thing
yes,
over and over and over, but expecting different results.
right,
Like that is insane. And so I feel like when you do push through, it liberates you from that insanity, really. Like there's
yes,
things that I've just been in this circuitous route,
right.
and it's because I've done the same thing over and over. So when you're presented of doing something that's outside of the norm, maybe you're a little fearful doing it scared. I feel like it breaks down those barriers, and you experience something completely new and fresh.
Wow. Well, thank you for that and all of this. And that is actually, I was going to ask you what you want to leave us with, but I feel like you've left us with so much. I mean, is there anything else that outside of doing it scared and, elevation comes with humility and there's a component to that. And it's good to just kind of check in with yourself mid-year. Is there anything else you'd like to leave with, our friends that have joined us now and anyone that may watch after?
I have a couple things.
Okay.
So first of all, it's not too late. So if you're listening to this conversation with Asha and I, it's not too late. This is not scripted. There's not a process. if you feel like you need something like this where you just need to choose a mantra for the rest of the year, we have 6 months. And then we have
Mm-hmm.
years and years. So dive in, don't overthink it. Secondly, Asha right here is my accountability
Yes.
partner right here. And so she has been key. Tiffany has been key. Coral, people that I share my word with. Like, it's not for you to just keep to yourself.
Right.
This is not something that you're just kind of keep it. No, you share it because it does help hold you accountable to that word. I know I'll check in with Asha and I'll be like, hey girl, are you living out your word? What's going
Yes.
on?
It's
You
so
know,
true.
it's
And
it's
and I
it's
love that if we call even about a situation, we bring our word. We'll be like, remember your words elevate, or remember my word for the year is
yeah,
give, or whatever our word is for that year. And you'll say, man, it plays so much into your word. And sometimes we help keep the word in front of each other if
absolutely.
we forget. Yes.
Absolutely. And I've done the same thing in the corporate space. You know, there's leaders and you'd be surprised at how many people, we're talking like very visible, highly, high positioned leaders who I'm reaching out to them.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, how's it going? How's your word? And so it just brings a sense of community. You're not alone. It
Right.
feels good. And then the other thing, the final thing that I will leave with you is always have reminders. In addition to the accountability partners,
Mm.
have reminders about it. I know for me personally, my LinkedIn banner is
Yes,
my word for the year.
it
I can't tell
is.
you how many times. So I'm putting my corporate hat on real quick, but I can't tell you how many times that has sparked conversations with people. I'm
Wow.
talking people that I'm not connected with. And they're just like, so what do you mean by the one word? What is that about? And
Mm.
lo and behold, it has led to conversations with, oh, so what do you do? Oh wow, services that I can better, it literally can also generate interest in what you do as a person and really contribute to your personal brand because that is who you are.
Right.
And then I've also changed like my phone, like my screensaver on my phone, which
Mm.
I don't know if that's such a great idea because I lost my phone a couple months ago. And usually, and Maya told me this, she's like, Mom, you don't even have pictures of the family on your home screen. You just have your word elevate. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Because I want it as a reminder.
Right.
Girl, I lost my phone and they were looking on my home screen. They couldn't figure out whose it was because all it said was elevate. There's no
Right.
family photo. There's nothing. There's nothing. So I don't know about the home screen, but just you get the idea.
Yes.
Keeping it fresh and keeping it in front of you, I think is really important because that'll help you intentionally live it out. You need reminders. That's the type of person I am. I have to have reminders. Yeah.
Awesome. Those are great tips and tricks. And I love the it's not too late was your very first
Mhm.
one. So if you haven't established one, pick one now. How do you want the rest of the year to look?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pray, meditate, search, think, whatever you need to do, but come up with it now. And I think sometimes time is something that gets in our own way and immobilizes us. But why should it? Well, six
Right.
months is a long time. And anybody that's lived any kind of life knows that your life can change
In
tomorrow,
a in a
in a
day,
day, in a moment. So you don't have
in
to
a
worry about
moment.
it. So
Right.
the 6 months that have happened are behind us. What are we going to do now? How are we going to look forward? So
Absolutely.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you
Yes.
so much for those tips.
I want
And
to
I'm
give
so
you, can I give you a shout out? Do we have time? Because
yeah, sure. We have
four,
about, we
four.
have 9 minutes.
Okay, 9 minutes. I have
Okay.
to, I know we didn't even talk about this. So I just have to, core came at a very important time in my life, in my career, in my personal life. And for those of you who've joined and may not know much about it, Asha is the founder of CORE, and she has created this organization, and it's the perfect name for this organization. When you think about your core, you think of strength. If your core is
Yes.
not like mine is right now, if it's not to get, I don't have a strong core, my abs, everything, and I have like
Girl.
back problems. I feel it. I know when I don't have a strong
Right.
core physically, and we feel, and even emotionally, it's the same thing. If we don't have a strong core, we fall apart. And your
Mm,
organization with the pillars of core, where we talk about, and keep me honest, right? But we talk about the marriage pillar, physical health, professional, and what's the fourth one again?
mental,
Mental.
like our mental,
Thank you.
emotional, which is
Yep.
one that we as women need to always focus on. And then there's
Yep.
spiritual health.
Yep.
Yes. And
Those are
relationship health. Yes.
those pillars. I'm telling you, whoever's on this call, it's mind blowing. It really is,
Mm,
and I really appreciate and thank you for the vision that you have because you have transformed so many lives over the years. You have no idea.
Mm,
Because what happens is we attend these retreats, we're connected, but guess what? We're telling other women about it and we're sharing our stories.
mm,
We're learning how to tell our story because that's big with core. Tell your story, share your story. It taught me to do that. I used to just suffer inside, internally and just think I was by myself and afraid to admit my insecurities or afraid to admit things that I was dealing with. Core created that safe space for me to learn how to voice it.
mm.
And now I can do the same for others, which is such a better way to go, to be
Aw.
authentic, to help someone else. So Asha, you've changed you've changed us forever. So thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
for
you. Thank you for that. I mean, I didn't expect that, but I love that. And I love hearing that. You said that to me before. And every time she says it to me, it just like gets me to the heart. And so I thank you for being part of my core, because you're one of my core friends and core sisters. And we call on each other middle of the night. Those are the kind of friends you need. But
right.
also being really just part of the organization. And I love that, like to see your journey and to see you flourish and being empowered and bloom. And now you're empowering so many women in the tech space and in corporate America. And it's been amazing. So thank
Thank you.
you for your giving me flowers, and I'm giving you a few back.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you.
Love you so much.
Love
But
you too.
really quick with just the last few minutes. Oh, who somebody said that there is this who is this? Delex 820. I don't know what your name is, but she said I'm sharing the nuggets from today. Core is
Course awesome.
awesome. Oh, thank you, Coral. Coral gave heart is giving you hearts.
Girl.
But for the people who aren't in your community or part of your village, and Akilah actually has a huge presence on LinkedIn. She's not as much. Oh, hey, oh, that's my girlfriend Danielle. I didn't even know this is my girlfriend Danielle from China.
Oh
Oh, she's amazing.
wow.
I hope you can meet her
Hi
someday.
Danielle. Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
anyway, so I want you to just tell us where to find you. She's really, like I said, her biggest presence is on LinkedIn, and I know you're on Facebook, but thanks for coming on IG. Tell us how to find us, what you're doing, anything you want to tap into, anything that you feel like would benefit the women on the call. Like
Sure.
as
I
far
mean,
as like, connecting to any kind of like events or anything like
yeah,
that.
we have so I in addition to my day job, I'm also the VP of a nonprofit organization for women in tech. So if we have anyone on on the call, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. As Asha mentioned, I live on LinkedIn. I also live on Facebook. I barely get on IG, so Ash got me on here, but honestly, look me up. It's just first name, last name, Akilah Murrell. I'm happy if you want to sit down and talk ideas on how you can better, increase your brand, your personal brand
Yep.
presence on LinkedIn. I can talk about that all day long. So please reach out if you want any tips or pointers. But yes, the nonprofit organization that I'm a part of is an amazing organization that really helps support other women who are looking to either move into leadership roles or just support. It's just women supporting women. And we have a great, great allyship. So we even have men who really, really support the women in this organization. So happy to talk about all things corporate, happy to talk about personal things, whatever. I'm here for it.
I love it. I love it. Thanks so much. Yeah, definitely follow her. And thanks for your time tonight. Thanks
Yes,
for all of you for jumping on and being patient with us, starting 30 minutes late. There's a lot going on in both of our worlds. So, but we
yes,
made it happen, and there's some great people here to join
yes,
us.
yes.
So,
Thank you, everyone.
all right. Well, have a wonderful evening or morning wherever you are. And we'll see you next. We're gonna be doing another mid-year check-in next week. So excited. I actually with Tiffany.
Yes, I'll be on.
So yeah, so look forward to talking to you all next
All
week.
right.
Join us then. All right. Have a good evening.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.